There are two parts of the examination. The first part is the relaxation part, where the examiner is going to ask you some personal questions, which by you would not have to think too much to answer those questions, because they are quite related to you, in order for you to be comfortable. So that part will not be assessed. It's just to make you feel comfortable. And when you enter the examination hall, for me, for instance, I can just ask you, how are you? How are you? And one of the common questions I ask is, how have you been preparing for the examinations? Because the examinations are close. How have you been preparing for them? Now, don't give a close-ended answer. Close-ended answer is the type of answer that suggests to the examiner that I don't want to talk too much, or I don't want to say much about that. You don't have to do that, because when you do that, you don't give opportunity for the examiner to ask you further questions in that same area, or to also make you feel comfortable. And it is also the first impression. Even though that first part is not being assessed, it gives an idea to the examiner about what type of learner you are in terms of your speaking, and it also informs the examiner how the speaking is going to continue. So it is first impression, and I recommend that impress your examiner well. So for instance, when you come, he asks you, how are you doing? You say, I am fine. What about you, sir? Which is very simple. But imagine a learner who says, when I ask, how are you doing? Say, oh, sir, I am fine. I was a bit nervous in the morning, but I believe now I am quite better. Now, the second learner, the learner who answered that way, is suggesting to the examiner the next question the examiner should ask him or her. And for instance, when the learner says, I am a bit nervous and I believe now I am quite better, you are indirectly telling the examiner to ask you, why are you nervous, or why were you nervous? And then that gives you again the opportunity to express yourself and to speak fluently. And I believe that leaves a good impression. That leaves a good impression in the mind of the examiner. I had one learner I interviewed last year, and I asked him, how are you preparing for the examination? And this is what he told me: I have not started preparing yet, because I work concurrently with schooling. After school, I go home, help my uncle. He drills boreholes, and we work together. So when he gave me such an answer, that suggested to me the next question to ask him. And I asked him, but we are getting close to the examination. What are you going to do to ensure that you have enough time to prepare for your examination?